I'm recording right now on this computer, so.
Okay. I was just going to say.
Because Twitch will record it for us if.
Oh, yeah. If we're not playing. Oh, yeah. I was just saying, I think I have it set too. What I was saying to you, John, by the way, is, or Rick, you make the account with it, and we won't say the passwords again now that we're live. Caster.io is, and it's Rick, for your sake, it's Caster with no E, CASTR.io. Make an account for us there. John, we can attach as well as custom, which you can't do with Restream unless you pay. But then we can go attach all of the media to it. It'll provide us that one stream key. You'll be able to drop that in Zoom, and then we can hit all of them all at once.
Okay. Yeah, like this is what it did for Restream. Like I had the options to add as much as I wanted to, but I think
it's not custom, right?
Yeah, once you get to custom, then they want you to pay for it.
Yeah, see, and Caster.io lets you do custom also, which would allow us to utilize Vim next time.
Yeah, right, okay. All right. Well, it's live right now. It looks like it's good. So we can either shut this down and restart it, or we can just keep going. It's totally up to you guys. Whatever you want.
Probably shut it down. Or,
why?
Don't we have more places to add, or are we only going to do Twitch?
Well, it gave me the option to, like, Restream was just a list of stuff. So
and he's just got to connect.
I got to connect the accounts. That's it.
Right.
And it's good to go. It's stupid simple. I thought it would be more complicated. It was literally just.
Well, like if you want to stop it real fast to add the other ones, go ahead.
Yeah, because we got 11 minutes to.
The login info we gave you already is all you need to get into those accounts.
Okay, so this might, like, when I shut this down, we're gonna have to come back in. Just so you know, with Zoom, when you end the meeting, you gotta do another one, basically.
Oh, you can't just end the stream.
No, it says end meeting.
Let's don't do all that, guys. Let's get to
yeah, then just let it run.
Let it run? Okay.
Yeah, is there while it's running, can you add other options to it at the same time or no?
Let me check.
I think the other streaming options will detect that it's streaming and then auto start on if he's using Restream.
Well, he still has to plug in the other platforms.
Yeah, but once they're plugged in, even if he's live now, I think they'll kick on as soon as it notices that he's live.
Right, yeah, I can set it up right now. I can connect to Periscope, so if you guys give me the...
Right, okay, so then, yeah, you don't have to stop it. Just keep it running and just add.
Yeah, it should detect those.
If you just go grab the other info you need. Rick, in our team chat, can you drop the link for the Twitch real quick?
Yep.
Just so I can pull that up and have the chat open. Hey, babe, can you hear me at all? Heather? Yeah, can you do me a favor? Can you just grab my my plug-in for the laptop, please?
And how long is this going to be?
Don't know.
So I know if I need to plug my phone in. Nah, we should be good. I'm at 78%.
I mean, realistically, we should run until we don't have to. I mean, we don't have to set a time to it.
Right.
Okay, I'm gonna run until my phone dies. We'll put it like that. Because I don't want to go all the way downstairs.
I'm gonna plug my laptop in now. Thank you. Babe.
Actually, I can save some power on mobile by just turning down the light completely. There we go.
What about do we have one for YouTube? Do you guys got an account at YouTube? Or?
Yeah, there's a YouTube account.
It's the same.
I don't know. Rick would know that.
What's that? Which one?
YouTube. Is it all set up or the same?
Yeah, I think that's the same.
Check.
Oh, I like that. I'm looking at it on the Twitch. I like that. since Egan's not on video, it doesn't put his thing in there like we're seeing it. Like I'm seeing it in a grid of 4.
Right. Yeah.
But on Twitch, it's only 3 of us since he doesn't have video activated. I think that's.
I'm a ghost. That's why.
That's pretty slick, though. Do me a favor, though, Deegan. Just talk for a second. I want to see if your audio is coming through.
Hello. 1, 2, 3.
I want to see if your audio is coming through.
Hello.
Oh yeah, it's good.
Hey Rick, can you you got an email address on YouTube? Something at Yahoo. I just need enter recovery address to verify it's me.
Yeah, I have to do the same thing.
Yeah, let me send it to you real quick.
Cool.
Dun, 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 dun.
I could have guessed it, and I didn't. I didn't even bother to try. When he told me what it was, I was like, "Oh God, what is that?"
That's what I thought it was too. I was gonna.
Yeah.
But
I didn't think. I looked at the little dots, and it was more dots than it needed to be. So I was like, maybe it's something else. No. I already, Rick, you did verify that already, correct? Like did you verify?
No, I did not. I did not.
That's cool. I did remind you. It literally takes a second. You got to use the link that I gave you.
Yeah, I'm busy right now. I ain't, just forget about YouTube right now.
Let me see if I can do it. Yeah, you do what you're doing, Rick. I'll
Have you noticed something?
Rick, type in your phone number in our private chat real fast there on Discord.
By the way, there's no title or anything set on Twitch, so that'll need to be set. You should be able to do that on a restream. You can set all the titles for all the things you connected to.
Rick, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Type in your phone number in team chat real quick.
I don't have my phone with me right now, my man.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
I'm not even going to check it anyways. It's out my truck.
It's the only way I can verify the YouTube for you.
Yeah, don't worry about it right now, man. We'll get it on the next one.
No worry, no worry.
I mean, we can also upload it to YouTube afterwards, since it'll probably save to Twitch.
Well, plus he's recording as well.
Yeah, the adding the channels, you got to restart it if you start adding channels. So just run it on Twitch. I thought I could add a bunch more, but it says I got to restart everything. So
Yeah, they used to have it to where you could add them in the middle. But I guess they changed that when they got rid of custom.
We'll use it next time.
Good to go.
Babe, can you hear me still? You're going to get a text message. I mean, you can just bring me the phone. I didn't know if you had it. Thank you, honey. Give us just a second, instant. John, does the webinar in Zoom, does it have a chat also, or are we only?
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, it's chat right here.
It doesn't. I don't know if was including the Zoom link for people.
It's you can include it because we can interact with people in here too. So
right, that's why I was asking.
Okay. I'll add that to the post then.
The only thing I was yeah, that's a good idea. John, the only reason I was asking is because that's you got me right, Inko. Because I use a TV for a monitor.
Right.
I can't read the chat if there's any chat on here on Zoom.
On Zoom, I got it. I'll
cool.
monitor that.
You've got Twitch, right? Pixie Post. Hello. I've got Twitch open.
Okay.
And I'll window Discord also. Actually, what I'll do is I'll open Discord and window the Twitch chat. Don't worry, Eco. You can communicate with us just like you're doing now. And yeah, Pixie's correct, but whatever works for you best. I'll have a window pulled up with just a pop-out chat from Twitch, as well as I'll have Discord open, so I'll be able to see you there in just a second.
I got Dave as an attendee. Is that Larry? Is that Dave?
There's Larry.
So I just okay.
That might be IJ.
Yeah, Dave works with them. with global block builders. Okay. What's going on, Dave?
Hey, plugging away.
You getting Larry or IJ set up? Who you getting set up?
Yeah, I think IJ's about ready. Larry, I thought he was just on, so I don't know what happened to him.
We got him on it. I see his office right now.
Yeah.
He's at the beach. I can tell, like always.
That's where his brain is, no doubt.
I know, right? How's everything been going?
All right, been working hard. Yeah, I'm working. It seems like 12 hours a day, on the Global Block Builders thing.
Yeah, man.
Trying to make it a success.
It's going to be a big time there, man. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
Yeah, same here.
Really looking forward to it. What's going on, Larry?
Hey guys, how's it going?
Going pretty good.
Cool. Good stuff.
Yeah, so as soon as we get IJ on camera, we'll let Johnny John will let you guys lead everything off.
There it is.
I'm just pulling up an image to attach to the tweet real quick.
Shaking, IJ.
Oh, there's the man. To anybody that might be asking us questions, give us just a second. We're not. We're gonna give an opportunity for. We were having some issues getting everything set up with everybody, so out of respect, we're gonna allow people to straggle in. So we are live. The AMA is running now. However, we're going to kind of slow roll into the full steam on it to let people get in. Give us all just a second, and we'll be able to field any questions you guys have. In the meantime, if anybody here would like to introduce themselves to those that are watching, I'm not on the top of the totem pole, so I shouldn't start.
Yeah. So what we'll do is we'll let IJ start off some introductions real quick, and then we'll get into a little bit more discussion about FreedomEx, our vision, why we started the exchange and all that good stuff. And then it'll be driven by our Q&A, or AMA session style. Sound good?
Cool.
Awesome.
Great.
Let's do it, IJ.
Hey, good evening, guys.
What's up?
Chilling. It's hard at work, man. Who do we have on the line?
We've got myself. We've got Larry.
Excellent.
We've got John. We've got Johnny. And we have Mr. Dave. And we got
Very
Deegan
cool.
on as well.
Oh, hey, Deegan.
Hello. How's it going, everyone? Those of you who don't know me.
Okay, I'll go and start things off, and then IJ can follow me. All right. Welcome, everybody, to our first AMA we're hosting here for FreedomEx Exchange. We're glad everybody could make it out tonight. We're really excited on what we've been able to accomplish since June of 2018, when this vision of this STEAM-centric exchange was hatched. I've been in discussion a little bit with IJ about an exchange well before that, and after a few discussions with some other people, we just decided to go ahead and start building one. And all of our hard work has brought us to this point in time of a launch of the FreedomEx Exchange. So let me introduce myself real quick. My name is Rick Miller. I go by the STEAM username of Instructor2121. I joined the STEAM ecosystem in May 19th of 2016. I was an avid BitShares user and investor. I got in early with the BitShares community and was able to take advantage of the Ethereum ICO back in May of 2014, I believe, and was just basically investing and speculating in the cryptocurrency. So I found STEAM, and here we are. My role, my position with FreedomEx is one of founder and chief global strategist. My job is to work along with IJ to expand the FreedomEx exchange platform around the world. That includes us attending conferences, but also includes us identifying jurisdictions where we can set up shop and get into the fiat trading side of things. And if licenses are required, to make sure we meet those regulatory requirements in those jurisdictions, along with our legal team. So back in May of 2016, I joined STEAM. I've been here ever since. A lot of times just in the background of things. I don't post a lot. Just basically work in the background. We've done a lot of meetups and conferences. Attended STEAM Fest this past year, which is fantastic. And we're looking forward to rolling out this new era that we've actually created with the FreedomEx Exchange. So we're very excited to have everyone here tonight. And again, after introductions, we'll get into some brief views and ideas of why FreedomEx. And we'll start our Ask Me Anything session here. So again, everybody, welcome. Okay, IJ, go right ahead, sir.
Thanks, Rick. So good afternoon, guys. I know we're all on different time zones, and you know, so I really appreciate everyone coming out here. I know over the last really 3 weeks, Deegan and Rick have really tackled this Herculean task of really bringing this into fruition. So a lot of things had to come into alignment, and that is not because the stars aligned, it's because we moved the stars. So Deegan, Rick, I just want to say everyone's very appreciative of what you guys done to be able to put ourselves in this position to actually have this conversation, because I believe in this space, in particular in the blockchain space, really it comes down to two things. One is financing of projects, where do we, and really focusing our attention to projects, be it our finances, our attention, and then secondly, being able to hit deadlines and guidance and stay within a time frame that's considered acceptable within a normal business circumstances. So I think just by having this call and what we have represented on the website, it really shows what the potential is if we get talented people to really focus their attentions and to deliver something of value to a community, aka the investor community, and adding liquidity to the environment of block space. But a little about my background. I am pretty active when it comes to the STEAM community for the last year and a half, more so towards the blockchain space in the last 5.5 months. Some of you guys know me from, creating content. Some of you guys know me from, really helping facilitate deals. But I have over 25 years of high-end, high net worth sales and fundraising, AKA through strategic alliances and corporate partnerships. So that's what I bring to the table. And we won't go into the details as is, but what I just ask everyone to remember is that, we're here at the service of the community, be it the STEAM community to start and also the blockchain community, but how are we adding value? And I think our positioning, our understanding of the environment is how we bring value to people. People really, really respond to it. So I don't want to take up too much time to open it up, but once again, thank you so much to Deegan. Thank you so much to Rick Miller. And guys, thank you so much for being a part of this launching stage.
Awesome, IJ. Appreciate it. IJ is our Chief Executive Officer. So I don't know if he had mentioned that or not. Larry, go ahead, big guy.
All right. Thank you, Rick and IJ and everybody. Yeah, real quick about me, I guess. I'm Larry Morrison. Been a part of STEAM for a while. Pretty quiet lately. Been behind the scenes. Working on our other business, making sure Global Block Builders is funded and the lights are on. And so, but happy to be a part of this, contribute any way I can. I've been in the startup and tech space and financial arena for the past decade now. I was thinking about it. God damn, that's a long time for me. Anyway, I didn't think I would be here this long, but happy to be here. And yeah, super passionate about education, which I'll get into, and I have some great ideas for the exchange, what we can do as far as that. And so, yeah, thanks.
Thank you, Larry. Johnny, see you sipping your coffee, big guy. You may pass you up, or you good to go?
I'm good to go. I'm Nicholas Cunningham. I'm Johnny Clearwater on Steemit, and I am the Director of Communications. Every good company needs a bridge between their staff and the public. Myself and working with John Olson, we're going to help keep that bridge strong so that communication can flow back and forth from the company to the public smoothly. When people have questions, problems, issues, we'll be able to address them, take them to the team directly so the team can keep doing what they do. I know, being in the cryptocurrency space for quite some time now, one of the biggest issues I've had with exchanges is customer service. It's absolute garbage. So, I mean, that's definitely something that we're going to address as much as possible. If you're having ticket issues, you shouldn't have to wait 2 months to get a reply. And we want to help facilitate that. As we grow, we'll bring some more people onto our department as well, so we can have people very specifically designated to more focus on social media. But yeah, for the most part, I would say that you could consider me a public liaison. I'm going to be there to be able to help people through the process and help communicate with the company directly in general. So yeah, Nicholas Cunningham, Director of Communications, and Johnny Clearwater on Steemit.
Thank you, Johnny Nick. Appreciate you, man. Next up is Mr. John Golson. John, I'll give you the floor, my man.
Yes, my famous name, John Golson. John G. Olson on Steam. That's my username, and I'll be working with Johnny to really put a lot of emphasis on not only customer relations, but big-time social media. I see a huge emphasis or lack of emphasis before the past couple of months on social media, and I think that FreedomEx will benefit from a visible presence out there. So I'll be doing a lot of social media, and as well helping out with marketing, and just any way I can kind of bring this and add to the team and add to FreedomEx. That's me.
Very good, John. Thank you, sir. Glad to have you guys aboard. Before I get to you, Dave, I got Dagan down here at the bottom. I know he's doing some work in the background. Dagan, are you available right now?
Yeah, I'm able to speak right now.
Awesome.
Anyone who don't know who I am, I'm James Sims, the DGen Sloth on Steam. And for a while, I've been working in the background of Steam, helping projects launch and helping them set up features and everything else. And now I'm going to be the Chief Technology Officer for FreedomEx. And I'll be scoping out all the future updates and everything that's coming. So all the features that will be coming, I'll be responsible and taking care of and making sure they happen like they're supposed to.
Very good, James. Appreciate it, buddy. James has been working very hard this past couple of weeks to us meeting this deadline for this launch, so we appreciate all the hard work he's put into it in the long hours. And Dave, welcome.
Yeah, thanks. My introduction is I'm Dave on arrival on Steam. Been active for over a year. Been doing mostly travel content, and that's how I've really been active in crypto and the most. I mean, I've invested little bits here and there, but nothing to speak of. My passion has been content creation. And that's how I met IJ, was through his first STEAM Creators Conference here in Las Vegas. And yeah, I also volunteered to join him in Dubai when he went there for a crypto conference. And that's where we really connected. And that's how pretty much how I got started working with him on this Global Block Builders thing. So I'm the managing director / grandmaster for Global Block Builders. And yeah, I've been working hard for over a month to bring speakers and sponsors on board, help make it a success. And my role in FreedomEx is not defined yet, but yeah, I'm willing to help make that a success in any way that I can. I'm working very closely alongside with IJ at the same location. So yeah, I'm available to help any way I can with that. I'm excited to learn more about it too.
Sure, man. Thank you for joining us, Dave. Yeah, Dave has been doing a lot of work with Global Block Builders, and I just want to mention Global Block Builders real quick. FreedomEx is a main sponsor of the conference we're having April 10th through the 13th in Austin, Texas, which is the headquarters of STEEM It Inc. Guest speakers that will be there will be Miss Eli Powell and Mr. Andrarchy. I can't remember Andrew's last name. Andrew Levine. Is it Andrew Levins? Levine? Okay. So Andrew and Eli will be there. I will be there as well. We've got a spot on the main stage. We'll be discussing FreedomEx and where we're at that point in April. Hopefully we'll have our fiat gateway services implemented by then, which will be fantastic. Johnny will be joining us, and hopefully John will be joining us as well, doing some live streams from there. So it'll be a real nice, actually be a fantastic conference, and I would encourage everyone who can attend April 10th through 13th, Austin, Texas, to be there. You know, who knows? Ned may make an appearance there for us as well. So, but Eli and Andrew will be there, so we get to pick their brains a little bit and see where their vision is on where we're headed with the STEAM platform. So, I appreciate you guys coming in and doing an introduction. It's good to see some faces along with these projects. And we have a team behind the scenes. We have a group of developers who are doing the work on the back end and our user interface as well. So those guys are steadily working now, and we'll continue to do so. Today's launch marks our soft launch period. So what we want to accomplish from here is to get our early adopters on board. We have a referral system in place. We have our FreeX token for sale as well. But we also want our users to utilize the system so we can pinpoint any bugs that we may be having so we can get those corrected. We went into beta of this day. We're in beta. We were working in an MVP / alpha version before, but now we're in full-on beta. And once we get more of these features released, we'll go out of beta, obviously. So, but looking very forward to that. We've got a great team we've assembled. Not only do we have a great group of developers, but our executive management team that's basically going to be the faces of FreedomEx. We don't mind getting out there and promoting and marketing our services. And what happens when we do that, we're basically promoting and marketing the STEAM ecosystem, right? So I'm going to turn this over to Johnny and John. Maybe we have some questions we need to fill real quick. I'm not quite sure.
Larry, can you I didn't hear your SteamIt username.
Oh, Larry Morrison.
Okay. There you go. Larry Morrison. Just wanted that popped up.
Any questions, guys?
Not yet, but I mean, we did get a late start getting the links out to people. You do.
Okay.
We have viewers though. Any of you that are watching at this moment, if you have any questions at all, feel free to ask at any time. You'll be doing it in text mode, so you're not going to be interrupting anyone.
Okay.
Patrick is asking if the site is now live for trading.
Yes. Yeah, our the current wallets we have on there now, with the exception of our FreedomEx wallet, they should be informing me any moment now that it's ready to rock and roll. We had to get some withdrawals, some issues with that taken care of. Just to give you guys a little bit of background on our FreedomEx token, something that we're very proud of. When we initially decided to get a utility token to utilize on our exchange for free discounted trading and also to use for customer listings as far as new tokens, we decided upon an ERC20, but we started running into some issues with the actual network at the time and the instability of the nodes and the network, and it was just troublesome for us, right? But we've since then got that all resolved. But instead of going the ERC20 route, we had an innovation that popped up on us in the past couple of months called STEEM engine, run by Agrode and Yaba PMAT. They collaborated with a gentleman named Harpagon. I reached out to Harpagon when we first launched our MVP for FreedomEx. I was interested in the STEEM smart contract that was basically a proof of concept at the time, and was asking if that's something we could use, one, to tokenize, and two, smart contracts to get us closer to our hybrid DEX model. And he told me, yes. Yeah, but right then, it just wasn't that developed, right? Fast forward to December, January or so, Steam engine was announced. They were rolled out. We were able to tokenize at that point on the Steam Smart contract system and create tokens that I'm not sure if we've actually determined this is what it would be called, but it was kind of a chat type thing. Well, we should call them smart contract tokens. So we've been using that for now until we have an official name for them. So FreedomEx is a smart contract token. It has a smart contract on that Steam engine platform. We're using that as a utility token on the FreedomEx exchange. With integrating that token, we've had to do some infrastructure changes because nobody else has attempted to do an external integration of it. We've done that. The plus side of all that, the advantage it gives us is now we're able to create or integrate these tokens that run on this Steam engine platform into the exchange very easily now that we have the infrastructure in place. So we have that ready to rock and roll, and hopefully once a full-blown proof of brain SMT is released, or even if an SMT Lite is when it's released, if these projects who are running these token protocols, or even the ERC20s that are out there, if they decide to convert over to whatever SMT version is available at the time, then we can accommodate that with what we call smart drops, which will basically allow us to replace existing tokens for those projects that are obviously in our wallet. So we're looking very, very, very forward to that because we think that's going to help drive our Steam ecosystem quite a bit until we can get a full-blown proof of brain SMT solution in place. Once we get that in place, I believe we're leading the pack at that point as a platform. Johnny.
Yeah, so New Age INV over on Discord is asking, is there any regulatory work needed to be cleared for users and or token holders, and are there any specific regions limited in any way?
Yes, I mean, that's a multiple answer question. Depends on what jurisdiction you're in. I'm thinking he's probably alluding to the U.S. So in the U.S., before you launch any kind of ICO or IEO, even if it's on an exchange offering, you need to seek legal counsel first, right? And determine what your token would be seen as. Would it be seen as a security? Would it be seen as a utility? As far as jurisdictions that are allowed, that's a twofold answer. We have crypto to crypto regulations. We have crypto to fiat regulations, right? So crypto to crypto, in 42 states in the United States, there's no legislation to find a regulatory anything in place that says you can't trade them, right? It's in 42 U.S. states. But there are 8 states that have that defined. So within those 8 states, obviously you need to meet regulatory requirements, which means you need to get licensed in those states as a money transmitter business or a money transmitter license, whatever's required in those appropriate states to do crypto to crypto trading. Crypto to fiat, same thing. If you trade any kind of fiat in any of those states, they're going to require money transmitter license or money service business license. And when we launch we're covered in all 50 states on crypto to crypto. Our fiat conversions we're going to be doing, we've partnered with Netcoins. They're licensed to trade in 42 of the 50 U.S. states, crypto to fiat. So, and around the world, the jurisdictions are different. What's required, if you've got to have, cash on hand, the bonding and all that good stuff is in place. So it just really depends on where you're going to be operating at. We're looking to move towards the Asian market. So IJ and team, we're looking to head out that way and seeing what we can, what kind of rocks we can turn over and can uncover a few things to get us into those markets quickly, whether they're partnering with someone already there, an exchange, or someone who meets those requirements for that particular jurisdiction. So I hope that answers somewhat what he was asking.
All right. Eco Instant. I'm guessing that's you, Eco Instant, on Twitch. Eco Instant says he has a question, and he thinks it's kind of an elephant in the room, so he apologizes to start with this. He says, just before this AMA, he got a message about someone recommending staying away from this project because of a previous failure of TradeQuick/Viva, perceived as a scam by some. I'm hoping it's better to clear the air early. How would the team respond to people who are going to say things like that?
Well, I'll respond to that because I think that's probably directed towards me because I don't see anybody else in here who is involved in Viva. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it because the guy did scam a lot of people, including myself. The exchange was going to be a great thing, but he stole. He's in jail. In a story.
Okay.
Yeah, we were investors in that.
I'm slightly familiar with this situation, but I do understand seeing that pop up, and I'm not didn't want to ignore anybody there. Steam Engine token is going to be traded on the exchange?
Yes, so the first Steam Engine token we have is the FreedomEx token. And once that wallet is up and tested and the withdrawals are functioning correctly, then any other Steam Engine token that wants to be added or listed to it, we can do that with no problem. We already have the infrastructure in place.
I got a question maybe that would be a follow-up to that. What would be the process for some of these tokens? Because there's a lot that have been started up on Steam Engine. What would be the process for them to get listed?
So that's a real good question. So the exchange, we're a business. We want to list those projects that are going to bring, obviously, our FreedomEx token holders value, bring more liquidity into the exchange, more trading volume. So we look at all of this and their possibilities and what they can add to FreedomEx, right? So we're not going to list every token that's available out there. We'll ask each project to submit. I think IJ's working on some listing requirements that allow us to properly vet these new projects and in their listings. And if it looks like it's going to be of value for us, just like any other exchange out there, then we'll add them. No problem. And there will be a listing fee associated with that will be paid in FreedomEx tokens. And that value will range from 5,000 to 10,000 FreedomEx tokens initially.
In regards to the Steam community, Are there any dApps that they know of yet that are signed up with us and plan to list?
You know, we started laying the foundation for this as far as promotion months back, and IJ will be able to chime in on this as well. But yeah, we've talked to quite a few Apex, Partico. IJ, what's a few more that you've talked to on in the ecosystem?
Well, so I think, you know, people are looking for quote unquote validation from the STEAM community, right? I think that's where the core of the conversation's headed. You know, who has taken action to be part of this? And what we're saying at this stage right now, we are building the platform for these organizations to be part of it, right? It is an ongoing process. But when we talk about that, I think the question really remains is, what does an exchange really do, and why does ours differentiate from other exchanges out there, right? So let me really start off. I know we want to get to the questions, but I think for continuity's sake, each one of the members is actually going to speak a little bit about their role and their vision. So when we talk about participating, we already know, and we already have interest from several different organizations, AKA companies, and we'll be truthfully honest, a lot of the companies or a lot of these organizations are not truly defined within their jurisdiction, right? For an organization to list with us, they have to meet certain requirements, and some of these organizations that we use on the STEAM platform have not made the bare minimum of requirements, AKA we will need to see licensing, we will have to see business licenses, we will also have to see banking account statements. So know that it is not as if we are preventing or people are choosing not to. It's just that some organizations out there, majority of them, have not met the requirements of a true business entity. And to do business with FreedomEx, there is regulatory requirements on the state level, the country level, and then also quote unquote universal business law, if that makes sense. So I don't want to talk too much about particular organizations or companies, even if they're structured that way, but there is a minimum requirement to be met, and a lot of organizations have not. But let's just talk about it, if you guys permit us. We're going to talk about why FreedomEx and what differentiates us from what is in existence in the community of STEAM, and then also what's the differentiation between what is offered out in the blockchain. Because though we are focused, a lot of our DNA is in STEAM. I mean, like just the participants on the executive board and the people we have here, I mean, no one can even question our background in STEAM and our love for it. But one of the things that we're trying to address is being able to control your quote unquote assets, be it SBD, be it STEAM, be it BTC, be it different major pairings. And we're trying to make the usability much, much easier for the end user. So when we're talking about the end user, right, we're talking the average person who buys and sells or accumulates STEAM or accumulates other assets, such as BTC, such as Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, be it Tron, be it Stellar. So we're adding the ability to move in and out fairly easy, right? We're talking like within just 1 or 2 clicks to convert your STEAM into another asset class and vice versa. I mean, that's the value of it there, right? Usually the value proposition right now is that if you do hold STEAM, or if you do have STEAM, you have to convert it into something else and then convert it over. And every time you are doing these steps, you know, if you're a trader, if you know you've done that, you've lost money when it comes to commissions. So the less steps you take, the less commissions you pay, and the faster and easy you can either attain, acquire, or distribute, sell, liquidate, buy, trade your assets. So this is what we're offering to the users, right? A simplified, easier way to get access to your assets and how you choose to handle them, right? So that's one great question for the end user when you actually have assets. The other one is, what is the value to FreedomEx for projects, AKA companies, right? So we know that there's different organizations out there that would love to be able to raise funds for their projects. A great example, a project that we're all very, very familiar with is DTube, right? So DTube and a lot of organizations out there had lots of great plans for SMTs, right? Smart Media Tokens. We know that the Smart Media Tokens was mentioned in 2017, Q4. So now we're looking at almost a year and a half later where we don't have that. But the STEAM community has taken really a stance. Great projects like Steam Engine, like FreedomEx is really trying to address those issues so organizations can get liquidity to really know. What I mean by liquidity is raise funds. And then what they can do with funds is they can actually put that money back into the company for developers to improve the product, maybe get into marketing and advertising the product, and also so that their stakeholders and other people who maybe aren't stakeholders to be a part of that program. So that's what we're offering when it comes to projects. And as a stakeholder, right, and now we're talking about what a unique opportunity we're offering people as stakeholders, that means to acquire the FreeX token, is that FreedomEx is paying and sharing 75% of the profits with the stakeholders. That value proposition there, I don't know how many exchanges our community has used out there. When was the last time you actually got money back from the exchange from the commissions you paid? So we are literally putting money back into the Steam community for doing something that we feel that every Steam community member or Steam token or SBD should have the opportunity to do, is be access to their assets. Also with that, by acquiring FreedomEx tokens, you can actually have discounted trading. So when you buy and sell different assets, you can actually have a discount of trading. And then lastly, what's really, really cool about this is when John Olson brought up, how are we acquiring, how are people listening? Well, there is a fee, just like with every major exchange, we charge a fee because there's an inherent cost to get them either via a wallet, through promotions and advertising.
Ajay,
yes.
Before you stray too far away from what you were talking about, a FreedomEx token, is it going to be tradable before the 20 million hard cap is sold?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So, think about this, is what it means by tradable is that a person can, just like how people can trade Steam right now, they can trade amongst themselves or they can do it within the exchange. Absolutely. So I believe we're looking at the first, once the sell, right, we've reached our soft cap of 500,000 FreeX tokens. It's actually open trading. But people can actually trade these FreedomEx. You can acquire it as of now, and you can trade amongst yourselves easily. Yeah. That's via personal exchanges, but that's going to be available through the exchange as well. So there's a reason to have the Freedom Exchange. You can share in the profits. You can have discounted trading. And lastly, if companies cannot pay the listing fees, let's just say the listing fee is roughly 5,000 FreeX tokens, they can compensate us via their token. And once again, just like how we're paying off 75% of the profits to people, 75% of the listings fees will actually distribute it against FreedomEx tokens. Does that help you out, John?
It's coming from the viewers, buddy.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's an excellent point, Ajay. Right now, we talk about centralized exchanges versus decentralized exchanges. Well, a good point Ajay made is right now, if you want to trade peer-to-peer, there's nothing stopping you from trading peer-to-peer. We have the Steam Keychain wallet that you can install, and click tokens. You got all the tokens listed there. So if you have tokens there, you can send and receive. Steam Engine has a wallet as well. And I think SwapSteam has a nice peer-to-peer as well. So, these things are already tradable. It just depends on what type of trading you want to do. Do you want to send them to the exchange and put them on the order books, right? Or do you want to do peer-to-peer? So, that was a good point you brought up, Ajay. Good stuff.
Would you, for any of those that may have missed it prior, what are the plans for the main trading pairs that'll be available on FreedomEx?
Okay, good question. So right now, when you log in when you sign up and then you log into the FreedomEx exchange, you can go to trading, and you'll be able to see we have three main trading pairs there: STEEM, FreeX, and USDT. Okay. Bitcoin is also within those main trading pairs. We have Ethereum, Dash, BCH, Litecoin it's already there too. So we just roll those out to the main trading pairs. And we're looking at adding obviously more tokens outside of our ecosystem as well, which is a promotional marketing strategy that we have. We'll be adding some other main trading pairs, more than likely, but there'll be trading pairs that offer applications and those projects and their tokens, right? Because in that way, they can get those long order books with each one of those main trading pairs. But for right now, we have those three. We've had some interest in adding SBD. A little background about the SBD is we had it initially in our minimum viable product back in August. We had SBD already there, so it's already set up in the system. All we got to do is just enable the wallet. So, but yeah, hope that answers that question.
Another question just came in, and again, this is people are going to struggle in here and there. So Henry Eric is just asking in regards to if we're going to have fiat to Steem and vice versa, so they can get money in and out. We will, for the viewers that have been here from the beginning, by the way, there will be a couple questions that, we don't have an issue going over more than once anyway. So if we're repeating something for you, we apologize, but it's nice to be able to hear it more than once to confirm it for you anyway. But
yeah, so several of us have been on these conference calls trying to get our fiat gateway service.
While you're working on this answer, Rick, please make sure to verify that the plan with the fiat gateway is more than just US dollar, okay?
Yeah, absolutely. So in our discussions, we've decided to partner with Netcoins to be our fiat gateway service provider. And what that does for us, it gives us deposit and withdrawal capabilities with Steem USD, Steem Canadian dollar, and Steem Euros. Those three fiat pairings out the gate. So that'll get us started on our fiat gateways. And of course, that's what IJ and team we do is we'll go to these other jurisdictions and see about adding other fiat currencies in those gateways as well. But this discussion is already we've already had it. We've already negotiated terms. Basically, we're just ready to rock and roll with it. So it's there. It's coming. Netcoins has also, I think last week or week before last, they launched their credit card buying via credit card on a few of their trading pairs like BTC, LTC, and maybe Dash or one of those other ones, BCH. So I contacted Netcoins, and they said once they can determine demand for the credit card buying, Steem will be added. It's already on Netcoins, obviously, so it'll be added to one of these other tokens that can be purchased via credit card. So that's a good start on credit card purchases. So we got fiat deposits, withdrawals, USD, Canadian dollar, euro, and then soon after that we'll look at credit card purchases.
Right.
For Steem, directly to Steem. So we don't have to do any stuff, go through any other middle coin or anything like that. Straight to Steem.
Right. Once again, it'll be
the brilliant upside to that,
actually.
By the way, for any of those watching, is the fact that we're keeping the focus on the fiat gateway being with Steem, which is going to allow this exchange to host multiple currencies, but introduce the users of those currencies to our ecosystem, our blockchain at the same exact time. It's going to promote our own inside economy on top of promoting others. So.
Right. So, and then forward looking, the next three major currency pairs for Steem, it is the Korean currency is the RMB, which is the yuan or Chinese, and then the Australian and the Australian dollars. So those are the three majors. But once we've had those 6 in place plus credit cards, you're literally covering close to 97% of all STEAM users right there. So they'll include North America, United States, US dollar, the Canadian loonie, also the euro, the Chinese RMB or yuan, South Korean currency, and then also the Australian.
Very good.
Deegan's asking a question. So Eco Instant has another question. I'll be able to chime in on this as well, but we'll go ahead and start with our head guys. In regards to marketing, I think we're all very aware that within the STEAM ecosystem, there is only so many people and only so many dollars. What are going to be some of the goals of the marketing team? What will be some of the methods, and will money be spent on marketing?
Ajay, I'll let you cover that a little bit.
Sure. So, I mean, that's a fantastic. And I'm sorry, you said Eco. I'm sorry, what was the name again? Eco. Can you please pronounce it for us?
The ecosystem.
Yeah, no.
It's
So
just
that was,
basically what he's saying is we're all familiar with the fact that at the moment we have a limited user base within just the STEAM economy. He's curious not only in regards to what some of our approaches are going to be to marketing, which I'm going to be able to answer, and of course I'll be able to answer some of that. You will as well. But the other question that's added there, which I'd like you guys to speak on behalf, is there going to be an overhead set aside? Is there going to be money set aside to promote, market, advertise, which many of us have seen, until just recently. We haven't see Steam it do right. That, and it is important for us to get outside our own ecosystem that we know.
Yeah, thank you, Johnny. Okay, so that's a fantastic question. Right. The bottom line is this. The gross market cap approximately in any given day for the STEAM ecosystem, you're looking at maybe approximately 95 million USD to 103 USD, depending on who you actually are asking for when it comes to total market cap. That is minuscule. I believe we're number 47, 49 in total market cap. This exchange has deep roots within the STEAM ecosystem. But we are not just going to service the STEAM ecosystem. We've talked about the trading. We'll just take a look at Tron, right? We have made amazing inroads. Their market cap is roughly 1.6 billion, right? So there's no shortage of. They have over approximately 1.7 million users and acquired users over 110 million users. You look at the Ethereum blockchain. Right, and all the things that they have done, they're at approximately 14 billion. That is 140 times the size of the STEAM ecosystem on its best day. So these are markets that we are approaching. So we are offering liquidity and ease of access for those communities, those blockchains to interact with the STEAM blockchain. And I believe people will actually start to understand and really feel what we offer. The blockchain space is the community, the strong empowerment that STEAM offers people, and in exchange, what we can actually appreciate and actually take advantage of is the liquidity and also the market size of other blockchains. So when we talk about adding Bitcoin Cash, when we talk about adding Ethereum, when we talk about Tron, yeah, well, it makes only sense because honestly, for an exchange just to be on Steam, you're right, it couldn't exist. So that is just our starting point. And as for the marketing, I believe right now we have earmarked, right, of net profits of over, I want to say it's close to 25% just on marketing alone. So we are not here just to service the Steam marketplace. We've set aside hundreds of thousands of dollars and earmarked, if not millions, multiple millions, to promote this exchange. Because what we offer is we're offering people to really share in the profits of this exchange, where we offer people to save money by using exchange and people to get quote unquote exotic pairs, right? So when they're using that, well then yeah, the more users we have, the more we can spend to grow it. And when we grow this ecosystem, people will be exposed to the STEAM community and their STEAM projects. So that's what we offer. So that's a fantastic question, but you're absolutely right. STEAM right now it's obviously it's a very, very small community compared to the rest. And we're not here to just service a small community. We're here to really focus on how we can help not just STEAM, but the entire blockchain space.
Yeah, because I mean, one of the points that Larry, go right ahead. I see you lit up.
No, yeah, I have a kind of a vision for how I want to slice up my portion of the marketing, which is about education, and educating not only the current, like, take a step back. We are early adopters of crypto, right? Everybody who's into crypto right now, less than 2% of the world population is into crypto. And what I want to do is use FreedomEx as a platform to go get brand new users in multiple different ways, but education being the main one. And that is, okay, someone who, a stay-at-home mom who has no idea what crypto is, wants to learn more, can come to our platform and learn all about from the gate, how it started, whatever. All kinds of education in basic fundamentals of what blockchain is. And then you have the people who are like us, who are already into the space, what we can learn about trading, how to trade better, how to make money trading, how to use these exotic pairs, right? And then also the fundamentals, I was talking a lot about, and Rick, when we bring on new blockchains, new cryptos, new projects, how to sequence them out, like what is their leadership like, what is their market cap like, what is their marketing, what is their exposure, what's their MVP, as Rick would say, like what makes them special as a platform to be like, hey, why should I buy your stuff? That right there is going to market to not only our current ecosystem, but the outside space, right? Anybody outside. And the bigger part is, if you are already trading, we can make you better through our technicals, our graphing, our fundamentals, but also have a training platform where people can practice with fake money to become better traders, and then package everything in such a way that it's already packaged now. The biggest thing I see when I look at exchanges or anybody coming in from the outside world is they fully don't understand what's going on, but that everything's all about, we're selling decentralized, it's the future, blah, blah, blah. But we're not packaging it in such a way for the people who are already in the stock exchanges, who are already invested in stocks, right? If we do that in such a way that's like, if you bought GE, right, they will break down their quarterlies, their financials, their fundamentals, their leadership, everything. They'll be, as transparent as possible so that you buy in. We want to do the same thing with everybody else so that anybody, including billion-dollar hedge funds who are like, trying to dabble into this thing, they can come to FreedomEx and be like, wow, these people have really packaged it in such a way that we're willing to start investing in these, small bits at a time. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think one of the points that it's going to be important to get across early on here is that, yes, this exchange 100% is designed to benefit our ecosystem that we are all a part of right now, the STEAM ecosystem, and dApps that are built on our blockchain. But if you think that all of our staff is not aggressively going after other projects to be listed on this exchange, I mean, that would be absolutely foolish. So if anyone is under the impression that even though this is built in our ecosystem, is 100% meant to help and benefit our current ecosystem and grow it way beyond what it is now, the simple fact is, I mean, I can't even tell you how many different incredible projects that we've reached out to just in the last few days in regards to having them list with us. People that have massive user base, massive amounts of volume, and it's our job as a company, both on the higher end, both as all the way down to myself and Director of Communications, to build these very strong, long-lasting business relationships with these projects so that they're more than happy to not only list with us, but bring their community forward. I mean, I'm sure if any of you ever spend any time on Twitter in regards to the crypto hashtag and just crypto in general, you're going to see anytime a new project is listed, how excited they are to announce to all of their community, hey, we're now on this new exchange. And then you add to that fact that we are one of a small earmark of exchanges that are going to also have this fiat gateway. And that fiat gateway is going through Steem, which is, again, going to be great for our personal economy. But I don't want anyone to think that we are only focused on the inside of our community. We are looking to grow this in a very large way, to bring on a lot of great projects, a lot of great teams, a lot of great communities that are attached to those projects, which is going to benefit all of us in the long run.
Right. So another value proposition I'd just like to share, right, Johnny, if we have this time, and thank you so much for really putting this all together, is that what this exchange allows different organizations, these could be individual investors, investor pools, VC, angel investors, that's venture capitalists, angel investors, and ultimately hedge funds and institutional investors, is they may not want exposure directly to a certain particular coin, all right, or token. But what we're finding out is that these forms of investors are exposing themselves to get involved in cryptos by investing and actually putting their resources within crypto exchanges. Crypto exchanges, it really diminishes the amount of risk that you really shield yourself from just investing in, say, maybe X coin X or token B or token XYB. There's a lot of risk to that. We know this asset class of the crypto world, blockchain world, is very, very volatile. But if you look at the top 20 exchanges, the top 30 exchanges, Binance is a great example. Huobi is a great example where they have coins where institutional investors, VCs, venture capitalists, angel investors, investor pools are participating in these offerings because they want to be involved in crypto, but they don't want to expose themselves to the inherent risk of maybe just investing in one of a myriad of coins or tokens. So what we're really doing, and Rick Miller brought it up earlier, is we have a conference that FreedomEx is involved in. They're the chief sponsor here in Austin from April 10th to the 13th. We have over $2 billion in assets present from investment firms, investment pools, and alike. And these people are more apt to be involved in a blockchain and crypto exchange than they are to a particular coin. AKA, when people acquire the FreedomEx coin, they can derive the benefits of participating in the STEEM ecosystem and community with not being directly exposed. So they can sleep at night, and their investors can as well. So from an investor standpoint, that's really my background is, I have over 25 years. I started out trading in the short order execution, which is called SOs, then options. I've transacted well over $1 billion in assets in trading. Is that by us offering this exchange, people can get involved in the STEEM ecosystem without having direct exposure to its assets. So these more money into our ecosystem, obviously everyone benefits.
Good stuff. Good stuff, Ajay. Yeah, as Johnny alluded to earlier, we saw an opportunity to cross promote the exchange and STEAM in the form of just reaching out these other projects and bringing them to us, right? Instead of, we spend money on marketing going to them, but we can bring these people to us fairly easily just because we have a tool in place that allows them to come very easily. So, we get, project like we've talked about one, I think, Ontology, right? Johnny and I had this discussion today. These guys have
79 million in volume in the last 24 hours.
Yeah, they're about 79, 80 million a day in volume. They have just as much circulating supply as Steam does, but they're valued at 91 cents, right? So, you look at the amount of users that they have. Johnny, you know how many users they have? I can't recall off the top of my head, and they're listed on many other exchanges. But it gives us an opportunity to offer them an additional exchange that has zero to low discounted trading fees, right? That's the value proposition for them. This is another exchange, offers them real good fee pricing structure. But the benefit to us is we get more eyes on what we do here. Once we fully integrate STEAM into our exchange with FreedomX, these guys will have STEAM logins. You know what I mean? So, we're in a way we're forcing them into our ecosystem in a way, but they don't mind it, right? Because it's so good. And then once they see the joys of how fast we can transact and the features that we have, like the fiat gateway services, the credit card purchasing, and all that. So now they don't have to go and do everything through Bitcoin, right? They can do it through us, and it's real fast to make things happen. And that's the value we need to get across to people. But by bringing them to us, we're able to give them that value and them not even know that they're actually getting it, right? So that's the beauty of it all, and that's one of our strategies. As IJ said, we put aside 25%, a little bit more for marketing, but there's a lot of legwork we can do as well. It can make things a lot easier for us to grow our exchange user base, and in turn, we actually grow our STEAM user base, right? And get our applications and our everything in our ecosystem more exposure. And I'm just talking about this one project out there. You know what I mean? So, and there's a lot of them. Me and Johnny spent a couple of days, and goodness gracious, I mean, it can be done very quickly. Very quickly.
Right. So I just want to share kind of a fun thing that we're doing, right? That we're calling it cross-pollination. That means we're allowing people to be exposed to get impressions about the STEAM blockchain and the STEAM community, and vice versa. So let's just talk about DTube really quick. Let's just say DTube earmarks, they don't want to pay the exchange fees, they can't do it, but they're going to set aside 1 million DTube tokens, we'll just say, just in this example, right? So of that million that they pay to us, 75% or 750,000 of those coins will be distributed amongst the FreedomX token holders. So in this example, right, if we have a blockchain kind of like Bravo Coin or Predictive EV, who also traded with us, who have no affiliation with the STEAM blockchain, well, if they hold FreedomX coins because they want to have discounted fees, right, they want to share some of the profits, well, in the morning, they could actually open up their wallet, and lo and behold, they could have DTube tokens because so they're like, well, what's this DTube token about? Well, it's decentralized form of video content sharing. It's based on the STEAM blockchain. Actually become holders.
Ajay, I'll tell you, KuCoin.
KuCoin's a gorgeous example.
Right, it really is. And I was just going to say that because you're always going to have people that like, oh, they're launching their own coin. This is a cash grab. What a lot of people don't realize is that's actually a part of the marketing ploy at the same exact time, because it's exactly like you just said. I bought into KuCoin shares when I joined KuCoin, and literally once a week I would plug in just to see what new random coins I had earned, and then I was incentivized now to go look into these projects and see what these projects were, if they were worth getting behind, supporting, and talking about, and buying into. So yeah, I mean, that's a big thing that a lot of people that aren't necessarily familiar. This is an existing business model in the exchange market. It's not, however, an existing business model in some of the massive exchanges like Bittrex, who have been around for a while. They've built years worth of capital, and they don't care in that regard. They don't need to, or have any want to share part of their growth with you,
Right.
But exactly, KuCoin is such a great example of exactly that. They went with the same deal. They had a reference link that allowed you to earn their own token. You could buy their own token. That by holding that token, literally you got a piece of a little tiny piece of every transaction that was made in any token, and that was it. Like I said, I'd go, what? I never even heard of this token. I now own 17 of them. Let me go see what it is. And just, wow, this is amazing. I can't believe I've never heard about that. And then I'm jumping into Steam speak and being like, hey, have you guys ever heard of HST or blah, 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 and it's just, it's in itself. And this is why, again, when we have someone like EcoInstant, for example, who's asking about some of the approaches that we're taking to marketing, the FreedomX token itself takes its own position in marketing as well.
No, that's beautiful, John. So I'm familiar with, actually, I actually know some of the KuCoin's team. Yeah, I don't know. They did a spectacular job. And people are like, well, we're getting these coins. They're not going to be worth anything. Well, I can tell you right now, if you guys are familiar with Tron when they first released, that was an ERC20 coin. And a lot of people that were early adopters of ETH, when they actually got Tron dropped on them, some of those accounts turned out to turn into millions and millions of dollars. So these things have happened. We're not reinventing the wheel. We're actually just sharing some of the best practices when it comes to exchanges. And then obviously, we can offer a lot of things that a lot of exchanges can't do, which is offer insight to this amazing community, which is STEEM.
So Eco Instant asks, so you guys are talking about airdrops to FreedomEx holders, and no. However, just want to add this. When new coins do choose to list with us, they may make an arrangement with us, of course, whereas they want to say, hey, look, we'd love to airdrop to a specific amount of your coin holders and et cetera. And you'll see that very often with companies listing on exchanges. No, what we're saying is that by holding FreedomEx token, all right, you're going to have the access to gaining a percentage of the transaction fees on coins. And those transaction fees are taken from the coins that are being traded. So if say we had, and I'll use NEO for an example. Say we're listing NEO, and you own set amount of FreedomEx token. If at the end of an accumulated week, this amount of NEO was traded, the transaction fees that came out of that NEO is going, by you being a coin holder, is going to allow you to collect a small piece of that transaction fee of NEO. Therefore, you're getting NEO. So it's not an airdrop. It's the exchange. It's this company sharing basically a portion of our profits with you for being a coin holder. So no, it's not the same as an airdrop.
Yeah, 75% to be exact. I don't think anybody offers that as far as the fee sharing. So we're very proud of that. Good stuff, guys.
Just let me say real quick about the marketing. If I'm looking at this call, it looks like 90% of the people on this call, if not 100%, have strong background in marketing. So it's definitely a big focus of all of ours. It's how to get the word out, because we know that even if we made the best exchange in the world, nobody knows about it. It's dead in the water. So we got to get it out there, and we have tons of ideas how. And for me personally, I'm looking at not only how do we get existing crypto people to come want to use our exchange, but people that don't know anything about crypto or are hesitant about crypto, or getting bigger outside money into this world ecosystem. So.
Yeah, because a good example of that, Larry, and that's a great point you brought up is, think of the applications we have just in this ecosystem, and imagine when these dApps have their own marketing campaigns where they're running their own advertisements outside of the current ecosystem. Then we're bringing in a brand new batch of users. So what Larry is basically pinpointing is when these batch of new users come in, they're going to see these tokens in their application. And rest assured, they're not really there to earn the tokens. They're just there for the utility of the application, which they should be. The token is a byproduct of what that utility offers. So now they've got these tokens and they don't know what to do with them. But obviously, if they're listed on FreedomEx, we'll have a nice educational platform for them to come and learn about what exactly to do with those tokens, and in a small sense, explain a little bit about why they're getting those tokens. Right? Good stuff.
So, John Golson, are you still with us?
Oh man, and it's John G. Olson.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So
John G loves it's the Canadian.
So John, can we talk about the referral program and how people can also participate by promoting FreedomEx and also deriving a benefit? Can we talk about that a little bit?
Well, it's funny you mentioned that. Because a lot of people watching right now are coming over from my Discord, and I've kind of been harassing them for the past couple of days to come. So I thank you guys for your support. But what's unique about that is that a lot of our background is in affiliate marketing, online marketing, et cetera, et cetera. And nothing gets people in that environment more excited then obviously commissions and affiliate commissions and whatnot. So what's really cool about FreedomEx is that there's an affiliate program attached to it where you can actually get rewarded for referring people, and the trading fees you guys split. The numbers, I'm sure Rick and IJ can go over exact numbers of what it is, but that really entices people to not only split. And you look at the Binance example. I mean, Binance really exploded onto the scene having that referral program where you got the fees. So to me, as background in internet marketing, affiliate marketing, it's really enticing. It makes me want to get the exchange out there more and more and more. So I think if you do that, and it's one of the things that not all blockchains, but Steem specifically has had a hard time doing, is attracting those affiliates. Like a lot of these dApps and a lot of these things have affiliate programs, but that's what's really exciting about FreedomEx is it's going to take it to another level too. So I'm excited to see that unfold. And for me as affiliate marketer, it's making me press send on my email autoresponder a lot more these days.
Right. So John, I just want to touch up on this, and thank you so much for inviting part of your community. I know that you have, I believe the younger people call it street cred in the Indo, right? Is that what they say?
Yeah, definitely.
Is that this referral program is a forever referral program. So this is not a one-time sign-up reward. This is not where you get maxed out, say you can only earn $1,000. Some referral programs, you have a cap, right? So you can only earn $1,000, $10,000, and then the following month it does not roll over, it starts over a new month. Or maybe you help sign someone up and you get $20 USD or 9,000 Canadian. So what we're talking about here is when a person signs up through an affiliate or a referral link. So we'll use this example of when we'll just say Chorusgate uses her affiliate program. Whenever, since I saw that affiliate link, I clicked on it through Chorusgate's YouTube or through her Steem account. Whenever I make trades, whenever I generate a revenue process transaction, part of that transaction cost, aka the commission or fee, will be paid to Leah or Chorusgate forever. So imagine this. It was like, well, I don't really trade that much. Well, roughly 1% of all traders accumulate almost 80% of all trades globally. So what I mean by that is John, or if Leah, or if any of your friends would have signed up any of these high frequency traders who just have bots that just literally trade 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you will get a commission sent to you as long as they trade with us through you. Let me make this very, very clear. In the United States, we trade Monday through Friday, 9:30 to approximately 9:30 to 4 o'clock in the afternoon. The currency exchange, otherwise known as Forex, trades from roughly Monday morning Australia time till 5 o'clock Pacific time here in the United States. That's 5 days and 5 nights. The crypto exchanges, our exchange as well, FreedomEx, never closes. No holidays, right? It's always open. And these high frequency traders, if you market to them and they sign up through your affiliate link,
right?
And I'm not going to say this any estimations. It's really, I believe that the people that you've attracted, I can say with very, very confidence, they can live an extraordinary lifestyle by just signing up just a few high frequency traders, and they don't have to be high frequency traders. So it's so exciting that we're offering this to your people and everyone out there. So if you're out there listening at home or at your business and sharing this, these are commissions that you could make 24 hours a day, 7 days. I mean, when I say this, I know Larry Morrison loves this because he's built his entire career on this. That is true residual income.
And just to add to that, wonderful stuff. The actual percentages of that. Currently, right now, the referrer is getting 50% of the referees, trading fees for life. So as long as they're trading and they sign up between now or they refer them between now and April the 30th, 50% for that particular referral for the life of the account. It's always there. After that date, it'll go down to 25%, but still, that's still nice referral bonus there. But right now, for the first 60 days, 50%. Locked in. There. Done. Johnny.
Larry.
No, go ahead.
Oh, this is like Hollywood Squares, man. Larry, no, hit it. You were about to speak.
No, go ahead, Vin. I was just saying, and I want to build the best kind of user interface, as far as the platform itself. You want to have it to be the best so that when you're out there marketing, Mr. Golson, or anybody out there marketing and trying to get those high-frequency traders, we want to have it be a platform that they absolutely love with all the bells and whistles so that they stick around and keep trading with us to get your residuals.
If you don't have anything specifically you want to address at this moment, even though we will still need to do it on Steemit, we can go over a couple of random issues or concerns that have been brought up on the announcement post, if you'd like.
Sure, absolutely.
All right.
You know what? Before we do that,
right? That's why I said.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you, Nick. Really quick, one question that has been brought up by me by outside investors, because we're really setting this program up, this company, this organization of FreedomEx, to really share in the benefits of really helping a vibrant trading community, is how can we offer these promotions? How can we offer these 50% referrals? How can we offer, through our token, the FreedomEx token, how can we offer a percentage back? How can we offer 75% of profits? And really, I want to speak on this. And if Deegan and Rick want to join in, we have spent, and like, I'm not going to give the exact dollar amount, but we have the best technology that is available when it comes to trading and also running an exchange. We are an extremely efficient organization. Our company is incredibly positioned for scalability. So we have 1,000 first, signups to 100,000 to 1 million. We've really built in the robustness and scalability of our program. So even if we add so many X amount of traders, and we can still run our company on really a very, very small footprint, AKA we're not adding another 100 employees, right? We're only probably going to get 2 jets, not 5, right? Some of our team will have to fly coach. I don't know what that means, but I'm just reading off what's on the prompter. But Deegan or Rick, can you talk about the backbone a little bit about the software technology that we're rolling out for the exchange?
Yeah, Dagan, are you there? Are you available?
He is sort of there. He was in the chat in Twitch just a few minutes ago. So he did say, for anyone that's watching, that it's still crunch mode and getting a lot of little final details. So if he disappears on us, it's solely because he's working.
Yeah, no problem. So yeah, just real briefly about the trading engine. We started out with an MVP basically on the trading engine. We were able to add some proprietary additions to it to add to its robustness. We aren't in our final implementation of the trading engine. We've got another solution that we've got in testing right now that's for scalability will get us to where we need to be, where we can service well into the millions of users with no issue. And what that actually does in the long-term view of things is our intentions are to utilize the trading engine itself to service what we have is going to be what we call a hybrid DEX. In other words, it's going to be peer-to-peer trading, and the trading engine is going to be nothing more than an order book management system. That's all it does. And the hybrid portion of that, obviously there's certain parts of the exchange that we need to keep centralized just because of some of the regulations we're under. and dealing with some of the fiat currencies and stuff. So, we need to have some KYC in order. That's a gimme. We're dealing in fiat. We got to have it. Can't get around that in the U.S.
Define KYC. Define KYC.
Yeah. It's know your customer. Know your customer. So with that in place, and also when we're dealing with listings, a lot of your true decentralized exchanges, you can go in and create your own listing. Just pay the listing fee, and boom, you're there. Right? There's several exchanges that do that. And these are true decentralized exchanges. However, we need to have a little bit more oversight. We need to be able to look at these customers, these listings, a little more in depth. Do our own due diligence on them, right? And make sure they don't fall under the security type token offerings. You know what I mean? So we have to keep an eye out for those. So there's parts of the exchange that are going to remain centralized, but for the most part, as far as its functionality, it'll be a decentralized exchange model. So they'll both be combined, and this new trading engine will allow us to get to that point. We want to get it to where, as far as a management team is concerned, that we focus on, the security of the exchange, the regulatory requirements of the exchange, customer support of the exchange, those important pieces. And the engine just goes. People are in control of their own funds. There's no custodian to their funds, just them, right? They put in a trade, somebody wants to, and it goes to order book, somebody wants to buy, there's usually smart contracts involved in these types of setups, but for the most part, somebody submits a buy order, somebody submits a sell order, and boom, it's done. And there's an escrow service involved as well. But those are the things we're moving towards, with our current implementation and our overall implementation that we'll have. We should have it completed by the end of the year, if not sooner, because we've already started to work on some of this stuff.
Actually, I'm around to speak about some of that, which we'll be bringing over the next couple months. Over the next couple months, we'll be switching to a pure STEAM login system, so login and sign-up system, to help bring in new users into the ecosystem. And with that, we plan to become more of a STEAM hub as well as other hub for other coins. And while doing that, why should you have to go on steemit.com or any other website, have to go to an exchange to buy your Steam, and then come back just to power it up? We plan to have the wallet features and everything that's included in Steam also on the website. So you'd be able to buy your Steam on the market, hit a button, power it up, go to whatever app you want. That's all you had to do. That's where we're trying to go with the exchange, and over the next couple of months, we'll bring those features.
That's beautiful, Deacon. And that's not just for the Steam ecosystem as well. That is going to be also for other blockchains and other tokenable assets. So we are making strides on yes. So Deacon, that's beautiful. Rick, thank you so much for that.
Johnny, any questions out there?
So these aren't direct questions at the moment. I said this is going back to the announcement post that we made in our community on STEEMit. I'm going to scroll through them, even if some of them are eye rollers. Okay. For starters, somebody in here that why would anybody want to trust a STEEMit account with only $3 in value currently? I do want to make note for those that aren't aware, for anybody that might have joined us outside of the community, I definitely know we're going to get this question. And one of the questions would be, why are we only just hearing about this now? And you're on a soft launch. And I think I speak on behalf of a lot of the team, especially on the technical side. We spent more time working on the project and building the project than talking about building the project. Could there have been more pre-marketing? Yes, but it was more important to us to get things functional, get ducks in a row, start making arrangements with other companies and other networks. And we went a different approach, and I think it was a smart approach. I've always appreciated people that get things done instead of just talking about getting things done. So knowing that, we literally announced that we were getting, there has been plenty of talk about this in some of our private Discord circles and whatnot. There are people that obviously knew about it, but we, for the most part, to the majority of the STEAM community, really announced yesterday that we were going live and hosting an AMA, and people have no idea who we are. So in that regard, this is where a comment like this is going to be coming from.
Right. Well,
why would someone on the Steam account, trust an account that's only at the moment worth $3? And this,
so I mean, that's fantastic, but this has not been a secret. If you ask major holders of Steam, right, influential organizations and individuals, Rick Miller, at the time serving as the CEO of FreedomEx, he actually had a speech in Toronto in September talking about the benefits of FreedomEx, the exchange. So to think that just because they have not heard of it, we have not been out there with the community would be an understatement. Rick Miller has done, once again, I can't say this enough about him and Deacon Sloss and Mashul, some of the other team members have taken on a Herculean task, right? We've invested tens of thousands of dollars, hundreds and hundreds of hours of research and design, and this is not a new project. Rick Miller, at the head of this conversation, the start of it, if we can play that back, he talked about how we had talks about this going back over a year and a half, and those talks were not just whispers and passing out coasters with little pictures on it. We immediately took the task of bringing this into fruition. So once again, the official announcement was in September in Toronto, in North America. You can pull up the videos. You do it. Rick Miller made an announcement there. And from those conversations, we already had probably well over several thousand hours of programming already put into this project, let alone X amount of dollars. But yeah, so if you may have not been affiliated, some people may not be an affiliate, but if you were in Toronto or if you're associated with us, people who are out there, not just who are active in the STEAM community, but in the blockchain universe and space, people have been, me personally, I was at a dinner party at World CryptoCon in Las Vegas, just talking specifically about this project to stakeholders, investors, and also programmers. And that was that was October of last year. So,
I personally heard of this in the process of being built and worked on months and months and months before I even fathomed joining the team. Right. So
there
are plenty of people that weren't in those circles and don't know. And didn't know.
No, but that's it's a very fair question. I appreciate it. But there's lots of conversations. There's lots of people in this world. There's 7.2 billion people in this world. You can't expect to know what every conversation is going on, and to think that people are just they know everything that's going on. The Steam ecosystem is robust. 9 times out of 10 you don't know what's going on in the next room.
Yeah, I got to add too. Yeah, we definitely need to work on that value of that wallet. So we'll note that.
It's going to happen. Well, I'm not gonna throw any. Let's use an example. Block Trades, who's done very well in our ecosystem. The day that their account first opened and said hello to anybody, how much was their wallet worth? You know what I mean? Everybody starts somewhere, and the accumulation of every person that's a part of this team, as well as the multiple accounts they may or may not have, aren't all reflected in a single combined wallet.
So let's really address the issue. Let's talk very, very plainly, so make sure there's no misunderstandings. Over the last 36 months, there has been quite a bit of assets being moved and shared. There's tremendous growth in people's portfolios. We would never, I can tell you this right now, being the CEO, we would never disclose our financials openly. That is unwise in much aspects. All you have to do is Google what's happening with some of these things that happened. It is a It is a different kind of world than it was 10 years ago. It's a different kind of world than blockchain was 5 years ago. The idea, I understand why the wallet exists for people to see it. But if you think about it, why would our wallet reflect anything that has to do with our financials when it comes to an exchange? Show me one exchange that's sharing their financials that is not publicly traded. And if for that matter, show me a publicly traded exchange that has full transparency. So that question, I think, if you really examine what the question's asking, that it has no place and there's no correlation between our finances.
As I did say, some of these might be eye rollers.
No, not at all. I appreciate it, but
I know that upon launch, the FreedomEx token is a 1-to-1 with Steem. Is that correct?
Yes.
Now, is your plan to keep it that way?
Well, that's going to depend on the market.
So I mean, because I would imagine the answer to that is no. I mean, the simple fact is, if people are trading your token, that the community that's trading it's going to eventually determine its value.
Supply and demand, Dave. Supply and demand. Free market
upon launch, you're looking, at this launch now, we're looking at it starting at a 1-to-1 with Steem, correct?
Yeah. So it's probably a good idea to buy them now.
Well, right, and because one of the questions was, how do we intend to maintain the price of a 1-to-1? And this is my way of saying we never intended it to. No. We're launching it at a 1-to-1.
Correct.
I just want to make sure that I'm correct on that. We address that.
So I can address that as well. So when it comes to we were saying, I believe people are referring to the word peg or correlation, high correlation, and in this term, it's really we're choosing the price of right where Steem is to really, that's our offering price, right? To start it off. Just like with any other initial or security token offering, any kind of ICO, or, they've actually pegged it to an open price. We'll just say let's just say BTT token, right? Just released, they raised $20 million. It was at 0.00, I think, 01 to a Tron. So it was just an arbitrary peg. And then after the initial offering, it was open to trade. So even though it is paired up with 1-to-1, Nick, you made the great observation. That's absolutely, that is an arbitrary price, and it will be a free float. The market demand, it's market weather.
The 1-to-1 ratio, basically, it's the initial public offering.
Right.
That's what we're making it available at this time. The second that the coin starts to trade, the traders are going to eventually determine its value long term. I mean,
price
look at a coin like SBD. SBD is supposed to be pegged to $1, but the people trading SBD determine if that's really going to happen or not. I've seen SBD be $8. I've seen it be pennies. So it's
yeah.
But
I mean,
no,
the
it's
thing is, you can't have a pegged asset traded on the free and open market and expect it to remain at that certain price without price manipulation somewhere along the lines. It's just, think about it. But that's kind of off the subject a little bit. But yeah, it'll be determined on the market price. The market will determine the price.
Do we have a standardized process in regards to the listing of tokens?
Yes, so that is being worked on. So what we plan on doing is really we are looking at each individual token offering, right? Token, block, really crypto, and also STO, ICO, no matter what you're, and some call it initial exchange offering, right? So IEO, right? But we're taking it at a one-on-one base. And the reason why we're doing that is that really a lot of projects that releases coins, when their price discovery is offered, the coin goes to literally has zero value because the project has zero value. It behooves us not as an exchange and also to the community if we list projects that are not ready to be scrutinized by the open market. AKA, if they're not prepared to satisfy the needs of the market, then the price will eventually go down. And that's why you see a giant destruction of price when it comes to ICOs, not to focus on anything in particular. So we are going to be fairly selective that these coins that or tokens that get listed will meet a certain level, a higher standard, because ultimately we want to have that price value. Ultimately, we want to have that liquidity. We want to have the stakeholders of those projects to quote unquote be able to secure funding. But if their project is not ready, right, or their project is not deemed worthy by our standards, no, we will not list them. But this is a stricter process. Just because, and I want to be very clear on this, just because you have a project on Steem does not mean you automatically get listed with our exchange. There has to be a value proposition that can show us that you're delivering something for the community, for investors, and ultimately to the entire blockchain space.
Anybody else want to add there? Does the roadmap have a mobile app planned? And if so, approximately how long do you think it'll take till we're able to roll that out?
Tegan, you want to chime in on this?
He was just typing in the
Okay.
Twitch chat, but that doesn't necessarily.
Yeah, so I'll go ahead and chime in. I kind of like to let him handle some of the technical questions, but yes, the mobile application is something high priority on our get done list, and I'm expecting once we get, because we got to roll out this fiat gateway services, but we'll begin work on those mobile applications, and it shouldn't take us very long to get those rolled out.
What you'll probably see, well, we already have planned, Nick, is that you'll probably see a slimmer version, not a robust version, a desktop version. And basically, when you're on the fly, sure, you can make your regular trades, but maybe some executable, just like any kind of trading platform worth a darn. By using a desktop or tablet, you can really utilize the software technology. But you'll probably see a slimmer version, aka a usable mobile version, but definitely a tighter package, because mobility, when we're talking about transactions, you're talking about being able to execute those transactions. And that's what's really important. What I mean by that is that people aren't usually doing a bunch of research with their mobile, right? Mobile opportunities, they're looking to get in, get out of positions. So we will offer that. I'm sure it's coming very soon, but a slimmer version, and over time, a more robust version will go to mobile. When 5G, roughly Q3 of 2020 is when you could probably see where really facilitate that. There's no lag time, so you won't lose any quote unquote economic advantage because of connectivity here when we're talking about North America.
Do we have any plans to potentially partner with any smaller exchanges like COS.io, for example?
So I'll start a little bit off of that. IJ's will add to it as well, because we've got some things going on when we get to Austin. But yes, I mean, the way I see the entire crypto ecosystem, that there's a couple of projects out there. I'll spin one up for you. It's called ARC. ARC is a DPoS consensus blockchain, but it has built-in atomic swaps, smart contracts, all the cool stuff that an exchange would need to basically interoperate, share order books with other exchanges. So if you can get to that point where you can add more volume, more liquidity to your end users, regardless of what platform they're actually going through, it's kind of like Steem, right? So we got all these different front ends we go through, but we all are attached to this one platform. We've got projects like that out there, so it makes sense to work with smaller exchanges, medium exchanges, even larger exchanges, at some point. But those can be some technical hurdles involved. So it's easier said than done when we're dealing with it, in that context. Now, as far as working with smaller exchanges, I'm not quite sure of in what capacity that question is aimed at. You know what I mean? But I'm thinking it in my mind, it would be aimed towards, hey, let's partner with another exchange to thicken up our order books, right? To me, that would make the most sense. That way, everybody's happy. If I'm on an exchange that's got $10,000 or $80,000 a day trading volume, and there's 20 more that's got 80,000, well, gosh, we just almost topped the $2 million mark. So there may be some pairs that could be all. It's just a nice little combination.
I would, like me personally, I would think if that was something we were looking at, that one of the angles that we would want to look at would be to get these smaller exchanges that are running a similar business model. I don't want to use KuCoin. I want to use KuCoin as an example, but I can no longer use them as a smaller exchange. They have grown to ridiculous numbers. But I see most definitely a benefit of potentially reaching out to some of these types of companies where we're capable of listing their token as well.
That's what I was getting ready to get at. So the other side of that is, let's say we have our STEEM. Let's say with our STEEM pairing, we're able to do our due diligence on some of these DApp projects we have. Not here in the ecosystem, since we're dealing with the main STEAM pair here. What we can do with a partnership like that is like say, hey, look, if you look at different exchanges, they got different tokens that they push, right? Some we've never heard of. Some are their native tokens to their exchange. Some are just projects that help get them up and going. So if you can form a partnership in that context, in that manner, then I could, you can see something like a D2 that's listed on FreedomEx, right? Well, the exchange off with that other exchange would be to help them get a Steam wallet up and let them list all these same DApp pairings that we have, right? That gets them more exposure. Now, will it get them more liquidity? Who knows? But you start doing that, scattering all over to a lot of smaller exchanges, and of course, you can see some things start to pick up. I can see it being used in that way as well.
I'd throw in 2 cents really quick to kind of combine those 2 points that IJ and you had. Is when we talk about bringing on new projects, cryptos, people onto the exchange, and we're talking about partnering with smaller exchanges, we're still going to be looking at their fundamentals to make sure that they're not selling crap, right? I mean, at the end of the day, if you look at the big picture here, we're talking about everybody that's listed on our exchange or that we partner with is going to have to meet the same integrity standards that we have, because we're all in the same boat. We're basically building a caravan, for my Navy guy over there, we're building a caravan across the ocean, and we want to make sure everybody's on the same, kind of idea as far as integrity goes. We don't want to have just a random ICOs trying to spread this thing around. Like, I'm sure that question about if they can trust us was really aimed at, right? So we want to have the highest level of integrity when we go and partner with these people, because we're going to be working with them, and we don't want to be associated with anybody who has low integrity, and we'll be the first ones to call them on it if they're not providing financials, if they're not looking out for their investors and their platform users. So I just want to make sure everybody's kind of on the same page, and I think that's what one of those questions was aimed at. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Excellent.
So may I say 2 things? One thing I'd like to share is that, the idea of not the word smaller, larger, but really focused on really partnering, right, when it comes to exchanges. If it makes sense, right, that's what the bottom line is. If it adds value to the company, aka does it add value to our community? One thing that we can talk about is that we have already started making arrangements to spend time in Seoul, Korea. We have already made arrangements to start spending time in Busan, South Korea. Why do we talk about that? Because they have been very, very supportive of the STEAM community. They are very, very apt at not just the crypto, but the blockchain space. It behooves us to partner with organizations that are obviously quote unquote familiar, if not friendly, to the STEAM ecosystem, but the blockchain ecosystem. Be it, should we, that's a question really when we're talking about partnering. Another way of looking at it, another thing is, what do they offer? What do we offer for their user base? Does it make sense to partner them? Does it make sense to acquire them? These are things that we're looking at already. And we, like I said, when it comes to the major fiats, so the euro, the Canadian dollar, the US dollar are in the bank. The credit card transactions, aka debit card transactions, that's in the process. But we are really focusing on the yuan, the RMB, which is Chinese currency, the Australian dollar, and then ultimately the South Korean currency as well. So we already have plans to spend time in Asia to foster, breathe life into these relationships that we already have. And absolutely, we are definitely looking for strategic partners. We've already made inroads. Johnny Clearwater and John Olson have made incredible strides. Obviously, once again, talking about Austin, it's very, very promising, and we can't be more. I mean, to be honest, it's a very, very exciting time. I mean, and like if you think about it, and, Rick kind of said it on the side. Yeah, I mean, by every standpoint, we've taken our time. We've been fairly quiet about this project, but we've shot holes in it. And if there's any dents, we fixed them. And if there's any weak points, we did it. So we invite the community. We invite not just the STEAM community, but the blockchain space in general to say, if we do have a blind spot, how can we improve that? But I can tell you right now, when it comes to strategic partnerships and acquisitions, that is definitely on the horizon. We are looking, if you guys would like to join us, we will be there looking at the second week of June to be in Seoul, Busan, Hong Kong, Beijing, and ultimately Bangkok, Thailand in June.
I have a question going back into regards of our initial offering of the FreedomEx token being a 1-to-1 ratio with Steam at the moment. The question is if we sell 500,000 of the token at a 1-to-1 ratio and then trading opens, what happens to the other 19.5 million guys that we hold?
They're still trading. They're still bought and sold. That doesn't change.
I think what he's directly asking is what happens to its value. I'm not 100% sure, and Deegan passed the question over to me to make sure we asked it as well, but yeah, I think, like I said, if I'm reading it correctly, if we sell 500,000 at 1-to-1 and then trading opens, what happens to the other 19.5 million that you guys hold? I mean, it will either rise or go down in value, depending on what that trading value, is determined.
We're going to drop it on the open market and flood the market with it or something.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
here's the thing, Johnny. Here's the question. We will sell less than the value of one Steam. So, of us putting selling pressure because we've got 19.5, we're not going to sell it less than one Steam.
Yeah. So that's the next part of it. Do you sell them on the open market? Is what he's getting at. And do we have a slow release plan?
Okay, so so when it comes to a normal equity market, not talking about cryptos, let's just say XYZ cement company wants to list in the New York Stock Exchange, right? When an IPO, that's initial public offering, on the opening day, typically the float is valued at what's available in the IPO is less than 15% of the float. 5 to 15%, on average 10% of the float. So our float on this one is roughly 5% of the market. So it's in line with not just quote unquote currencies. It's not just in alignment with cryptos or blockchain. It's in alignment with equities as well. Because initial public offering, when it comes, we're talking about stocks. Another question is the term is I think we're looking for. I don't want to put any words in anyone's mouth. It's called the lockup period. How long do certain stakeholders have to hold on to their particular tokens, right, or particular stock? That is usually anywhere from 3 months, 6 months, to all the way out to 2 years to 5 years. That is typically held amongst the stakeholders of a particular endeavor. So what I mean by that, like we was like, is there, when you said leakage, or I forgot the term they were using, but it's called a lockup period, where a good example is if an investment bank wants to buy our stock or buy our token, they would have to hold it for X amount of period of time. So that's what it's called, lockup, and that varies between agreement. And typically 3, 6, 9, 12, 24 months. Even, some stock options can go all the way to 5 to 10 years. It really just depends.
I hear your roadmap for 2019 is a hybrid DEX model.
Is that a question?
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, you want to embellish on that just a little?
I thought I did this earlier.
Yeah. You did, Rick. You did.
Might have missed it. So just making
Yeah,
sure.
okay, all right.
Yeah.
I don't mean, I'm just throwing it out.
Give him the 45-second version, Rick.
Yeah, so
2-minute version.
Yeah, I covered it when we were discussing the trading engine and the upgrading to the trading engine and what it's going to allow us to do as we move to the hybrid DEX. But the hybrid DEX is real simple. There's parts of it that we are decentralized, and there's other parts that are centralized. The parts that are decentralized are the most important parts from an ideology standpoint in our space. Those two are custodian of the private of the wallets, right? So in this hybrid DEX model, the decentralized portion of that would be that FreedomEx doesn't store any funds for the traders. What normally works, it goes into escrow till the buy and sell orders are executed for a particular trade agreed upon, right? Through that particular smart contract. So we don't hold any customer funds, which is a big deal, right? I don't really like the idea of having to hold customer funds, but that's where we're at right now. But we're moving to this hybrid DEX model where we don't have to hold customer funds. You're responsible for your own wallets, right? The other part of that is, trading. Well, I can come back to that. I can't remember other decentralized portion of it. I said two of them. The centralized portion of it would be customer service and assisting with any kind of issues that they're having on the DEX. Obviously the login issues, once we move to STEEM integration, we won't have that because, again, customers are responsible for their own keys, and we don't hold any keys. Listings, as we discussed earlier, we want to do our due diligence on these projects to make sure they fit into, what we want, what we see as value to not only us, but for our customers. And that comes from the listings.
Right.
One thing
that you can take a look at in a real life example, obviously the most successful ever within our space, is what Binance has done and they are doing as of present day. So look at the Binance coin, look how they arranged it. So the idea of a pure DEX, though romantic, has so many pitfalls, right? And what I mean by this is Binance has built the greatest book, has built the greatest story, has delivered consistent products and consistent customer service. They have slowly migrated some non-essential to customer experience into a DEX format. And if you look at the Binance coin over the last 65 days, 70 days, people are really, really pleased with that offered. The Binance coin has appreciated. It gives you discounted trading, but our token has other aspects. So I think we're going to follow a very, very similar path, just a bit different path comparatively to Binance, which is a beautiful model, by the way.
So I'm glad you brought that up, IJ. Because people, I get questions all the time. I have colleagues, we've been in the blockchain space for a long time. I've been in it since 2011. And we've been through some very, 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 very bad centralized exchange situations in the past. So, given that, those are issues because you do have to trust that party, right? But let's look at it from a business and investor perspective, basically from a business model perspective. So let's take these two examples. These are great examples of why, if you're going to start an exchange out the gate, why you should choose one model over the other, right? So let's take a look at BitShares and OpenLedger. It's been around forever, all right? I believe the first DEX in existence. I could be wrong. I'm sure somebody will correct me, but I think they're probably the first DEX in existence. I encourage you to go and look at OpenLedger's trade volume and liquidity, all right? Now let's flip the side over to Binance, right? Their business model. What they were able to do, they centralized the exchange starting out, right? So you got to pick which one you want as a business model to move things forward. I'm not saying that somebody couldn't create a DEX and just be fantastic with marketing, promotion, and all that good stuff, and get the liquidity and the thick order books that it needs to have to continue to exist. Binance basically said, you know what, we're centralized, we're going to roll with that for now. But their whole idea is like our idea. You know, we don't like the idea of being wallet custodians, right? It's too much of a headache. It can be too much of a headache, right? And plus, the speed and the accuracy, you know, we don't have to, you know, it's just wallets to wallets. We don't have to deal with that stuff. We just make sure our trading engine and security is maintained. So Binance says, you know what, we built billions of dollars in revenue. We made crap loads of profit. Now let's start integrating this towards a hybrid DEX model. Let's keep some of the centralized aspects because it's beneficial to the customer, right? And let's take these other centralized aspects, let's make those decentralized because it simply just makes life easier for us and possibly our customer if they can just be responsible with their own wallets and keys and all that good stuff. So Binance and OpenLedger are great examples of if you're going to be starting something, you need to know what you're starting with if you want to continue to exist as a business, right? And the centralized, starting off as centralized like we are, but having plans to actually pursue the hybrid DEX model and get it implemented, that's our number one goal. Outside of security and a good, great customer experience, that's where we want to be from an infrastructure standpoint because to us, it makes the most sense, right? That's my rant about centralized and decentralized, which is a discussion that could go on for a long time depending on who you have in the discussion. But from a business model standpoint and an ideological standpoint, which I agree with both sides of the stories, depending on what kind of argument you throw up at me. So,
one of the final questions that I have at this moment, we are going to slowly start wrapping it up. I think this has been a pretty good meeting so far for our first AMA, especially being that to our inside STEEM community, for the most part, they just found out about us yesterday. I think a lot of the questions, by the way, for those that were watching and been fielding questions, we thank you very much. I think a lot of them were pretty legit. There was maybe one or two eye rollers, but I passed them on anyway. It's my job.
Great questions.
So knowing that we're going to be wrapping this up here shortly, if you have any more questions, get them in right away. Other than that, one of the last questions that I had from one of our viewers in regards is, outside of the obvious promotional that we'll have at all times, being the referral link as well as the opportunity to earn by owning FreedomEx token, do we have any plans for any other promotional moments in this first couple weeks or even months of launch in regards to new users signing up? We don't necessarily have to, announce any of them at this moment, but would we be announcing them soon if we are going to be doing so? An example of waiving a transaction fee for a period of time, or for users that purchase so much of our coin. Do we have any other promotional plans lined up for getting people to join us, and for those that have joined us early?
Yeah. So one of the promotions that we're running that we haven't disclosed, I don't know, I think I just left it out, but for the first 30 days, just to get some liquidity flowing through the exchange and some trading volume, we're going to be waiving all trading fees for the first 30 days. That's one. As far as end users, I think we've got this listed in our Discord. This is in regards to the FreeX token. Obviously, the first 30 days is free trading. We do it as a promotional period just to build some liquidity. I think that makes a lot of sense for us. Holding a minimum of 1,500 FreeX. We haven't got any kind of staking mechanisms in place, but I've got a solution for that will allow us to easily track these users that hold 1,500 FreeX plus. That they're receiving free trading the whole time they're holding this. But we want to get that to where we can get that stake. But I've got another solution for that. We'll roll that out for them. I'm not sure if that would fall into any new promotion because we got to list it out in Discord and actually put it in our post. And I think it's on the website too.
No, because that is listed. For any of those that already are familiar with that, to clarify, that's while you're holding that amount.
Correct.
That's not, hey, I purchased this amount and then I ended up selling half of it, and you don't continue from that point. That's while you maintain to hold that coin, that amount. Just want to clarify that.
Yeah, so within this first 30-day trading period, we'll have a solution where we can easily track that, right? It probably won't be a staking solution. It'll be another way for us to have them stake it and us to be easily, we can easily track that.
I know on my side of things that I will quite frequently be coming to the team and throwing options out there for other promotional ideas that we can run.
Oh, definitely.
We have a plethora of cool ideas that we've bounced off each other already, and I can tell you that at some point in time we will always roll out promotional concepts. I mean, that's we were asked earlier in regards to what are some advertising and marketing strategies that we have, and of course incentives are always a part of that. So that'll be something that you'll progressively see throughout our growth. All right, I don't see any fresh new questions at the moment. I do see one. I think it's a good question. I'm gonna change it up just a little bit. How often do you think that we're going to be able to come together to do AMAs?
That's something I'll let you guys determine. I believe in having these things early and often, especially early on in our launch period. So, I'm game. I know IJ, he probably feels a little different about this. I know how he is, but I'm more like I'm more like a set time once a week type guy. Let's have a set time once a week. Let's all get together. It don't have to be 2 hours. I mean, it could be an hour. We can give. And that's what we discussed. We want to give updates, progress. We want to be out there to let people know what we're going on outside of what we put in a post. I think us being able to live stream and all of us get together adds a lot of value, and maybe it can address some of the concerns that some of the members of the ecosystem may have. So, we're out there. We want you to come talk to us. So the more we can do this, the better everything will be.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I agree completely. I think from this moment with this soft launch that we have done this evening, I think everybody on the team is going to benefit from holding off just a second on a rush on the next AMA. Let us get feedback from the community so that we can iron through some of the kinks that we know we're going to have. But from that point forward, especially early on, I don't have an issue with once a week myself. I know that not always are we going to be able to have every single member of the team together, obviously. But, I mean, oh, man, you raised a great example not too long ago. A Litecoin Cash. Look at how much they go out and make sure that they're constantly getting back in touch. And that's going to be something I'm going to want to make sure that I organize. As a director of communications, I want us to be able to have that opportunity. I do definitely foresee progressing forward that we would have a much more time structure based on that. We didn't want to set a time structure on this one. We wanted the people to come in at their luxury. Also, our very first one, we didn't get the links out to everybody as quick as we could have and should have, and we're hoping to, which is one of the reasons why we were willing to run much later and on a non-structured. But yeah, I definitely want our community, and if you guys, unless you disagree, I want our community to see us and know us as often as we're able to. I think it's important for them to know constantly what we're doing and what we're trying to do and how we can continue to improve to their needs.
Yeah, man. I mean, we've got some very, very, in the context of innovation on our ecosystems and things that we're doing as far as additional services and features that we're adding. A lot of these services and features have been in discussions I can go back to 2016 with some of them. The the credit card, being able to buy via credit card, this and that. I remember projects popping up and then going away. The difference is we're here. We decide we want to do something. We'll just go do it. We'll find out who the person we need to contact, what we need to do to get it done, and we just go and do it.
Right.
So
I like to share some really closing thoughts about this project. I'm extremely grateful, right? I'm extremely grateful for everyone who participated, be it who stopped in for a minute or stayed for 2 hours. I can't say thank you enough, right, for the support that we've gotten. I believe our post is one of the top posts right now, less than 24 hours. We believe in our post, so we actually helped our post. But a lot of people have engaged with and commented. Rick, John, Nick have been really engaging with people. But I want to put this out, and I'm grateful for the team, right, for everyone who's a participant. But I want to put this out to you for the STEAM community. The idea of STEAM was to be able to participate via electronic communications, to be part of something, and by your interaction, by your engagement, by your posting, or by staking it, by investing in the STEAM community, you could derive some kind of benefit, be it emotional, spiritual, or even financial, right? So you make a post, you participate that way, or you invest by buying STEAM, and your STEAM grows over time. I can only think of really one strong company and organization that has really embraced the idea of injecting new capital into the STEAM ecosystem with great success. And my hat goes off to Agrode and Yabit Matt with STEAM Monsters. They have exposed more people and more organizations to the STEAM blockchain than could be imagined, because they offered something of value, something of entertainment, and also community by holding their tournaments. I feel very strongly that we are doing the exact same thing by you involving yourself, by you participating, just like you participate by making posts, or just by participating by buying STEAM Monsters, by you participating by either trading, buying FreedomEx tokens, acquiring them. We go out and take that money and tell the world about the projects that are on STEAM and that community. And by those fees that are generated by trading, we then share 75% back to the community. So once again, the model that we're using is the model in which STEAM has really been. If you participate, if you stake, you'll have a share of quote unquote the derived benefits. So I appreciate everyone. So if you have any direct questions, please reach out to John Golson. Please reach out to Johnny Clearwater and any of the team members. And if you need more clarification, if you need to open up a discussion, even contact me anytime. We will do our best to address those issues, concerns. And ultimately, at the end of the day, we want to really show to the world, showcase STEAM and what we're doing to not just the blockchain space, but to everyone around the world. So once again, thank you so much. Contact us. And Rick, as for once a week, I cannot comment on that. I do not handle my own schedule. You know this. I'll pass it along, but I will no less be with you guys in spirit every week.
He already messaged me earlier and said if we do this on Taco Tuesday again, he's out. So.
Very challenging.
Larry, did you have any closing comments you wanted to throw in there?
Closing comments. I think Ajay summed it up pretty well, but I think just like a lot of projects on the STEAM blockchain or all blockchain, we have a lot of potential with this because, with Rick and Ajay's vision of sharing the profits, we can all be a part of something literally amazing that brings so many things together, right? So many chains, so many communities, so many projects that will eventually get to the normal average Joe, which we all want to do so that we can be early adopters and not maniacs. But I think this thing has a ton of potential, and we would love to have any and all support, comments, communication with the community as they see fit.
All right, John, anything from you, bud?
No, I'll be out there listening and promoting and talking to people. So if you guys need anything at all, anybody wants to hit me up. I'm always around. Definitely on Steam, on Twitter, and the like. So yeah, it's gonna be exciting times for sure.
All right, Dave.
All I have is one last yes or no question. It's after the launch, are you planning on setting up a Steam witness node?
Oh,
Yes. So
Okay.
So we've had a Steam Witness node running for almost 2 months now. Yeah, January 9th we started. So it's been around almost 2 months. It's FreedomEx.witness, but it's Freedom, FREEDOM, X.witness, character limitations. But yes, we got FreedomEx.witness out there. Go give it a vote, man. Nice catch there, Dave. Thank you, sir. We haven't actually even introduced our witness yet, to the platform. We just had it running because we run, like Dagensloth will tell you, man, we run a full exchange node. Oh man, we just got nodes everywhere. So our infrastructure is, it happens to be one of them. So, it'd be great to get it boosted on up into the rankings for us. So yeah, but nice to bring that up, man. Thanks.
I'll vote for you.
All right, and Rick, yeah, it's on you now. Any closing comments you want to go ahead and add?
Yes, I want to thank everyone for attending tonight, and I really appreciate all the questions that were given to us. We've been on the post, we're in Discord, answering questions because we want you guys to fully understand, what we got going on, and if you have issues, we can assist you with those issues. But we're Discord. We've got if you look at the bottom of our homepage on freedomex.com, freedomex.io, we have a link to all of our social media channels. We're ramping up some Twitter campaigns. So, we appreciate everyone joining us out there. I'm not a big Twitter user. Everybody else is, but I'm really not. So I would appreciate everyone out there joining us out there and give us a follow, and we call them some tweets, some retweets. Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
Yeah. Y'all gotta help me out, man. But yeah, so we'll be around.
I zap. I don't know if you guys.
I know, right? But again, I appreciate everybody attending, and we'll get a show schedule announced. We can have more of these. We may not have everybody, but we'll have a good bit of the core team here to discuss things and give updates, any new news, because we want to keep everybody informed of what we have, going on. And, we also make announcements in Discord as well. If we got any new meetings that we just attended, we'll normally announce those, in the Discord as well. So, yeah, appreciate it, guys. Thanks, all you guys attending, man. I thought it was a fantastic AMA, and I look forward to more sessions like this.
All right. Well, for any of those that are still watching that joined us or that end up watching the post of the recording of this, as everybody said, thanks so much for being here. And we will be back and see you all again very soon. And that's going to be it. Signing off. John, you can click that button.
Cool, man.